Hi everyone and welcome to Over 50 So What? I'm Carol. This show is for midlifers, middlescents or us middle-aged. And unfortunately for a lot of us, our body shape seems to change and develop with the middle-age spread. We chat to Mish Wright about understanding and working with our new body shape. After the 5-minute fun fitness segment, which you can do in your own living room, just check you have a clear space. We're visiting a life activities club in Geelong where they're having fun playing cards and Scrabble. Enjoy the show. When I was approaching 50, I knew that my body shape was going to change and I was not looking forward to it. I thought I was prepared, but it was very, very challenging. To discuss this phenomenon of body shape changing, we're with Mish Wright, award-winning educator, speaker and writer. Welcome back to Over 50 So What, Mish?
So great to be with you again, Carol.
Over 50, middle-age spread, putting on weight around the middle. I mean, it's expected that men and women put on weight around the middle-age spread is going to happen to us all, but specifically it happens to women going through menopause. Why is this?
Yes, so there is a very technical reason actually. During the menopause process, you're losing estrogen. The body is freaking out about estrogen leaving, and so it grabs as much of it as it can and it stores it in fat, and then it stores it in a place that is really accessible, which happens to be around our middle. But I do want to say, Carol, if you look back over your whole lifespan, your body is constantly changing. So we shouldn't be so surprised that in menopause or during this next phase of our life that it changes again.
So does it change, apart from the fat around our middles, is there any other changes that might happen in a female's body?
I think that when we age, we accept that we are going to get wrinkles. And again, this is related to the estrogen, which is related to collagen. So collagen is that spring back, that elasticity that we have. And so when we go through menopause and lose that estrogen, we lose that ability for our skin to spring back. And of course, our hair color can change as well. We're probably more accepting of wrinkles and more accepting of hair color, and we can do things about both of those. But I think as women, we're not as accepting by the change of body shape. Now, does this mean that we can never lose weight or get strong or look better? Absolutely not. We all have the ability to get stronger and live a fulfilled life in our body, but it is all about our perspective.
Now, I'll share a personal story with you about my experience with body shape change going through menopause. And one of them is an increase in bust size. You know, when I was younger, I was a D, then I went to double D, then I went to E, then I went to F for friggin' enormous. So I think some women would be very excited maybe about having an increase in bust size, but that can be a common result too.
Absolutely. And so again, it's just all about this estrogen storing it, but you can also see a reduction in your muscle mass. So if you had an ample muscly booty, you might find that you lose that, or it's harder in order for you to maintain it as well. Not impossible, but it's just a change that, you know, we go through.
Is there anything you can do in perimenopausal phase to prepare to help minimise the change in body shape or weight gain?
Absolutely. So fundamental is making sure that you care for yourself and your sleep. That is a foundation, which can be really tricky, of course, if you're having night sweats or things like that. But prioritising your rest will be a big driver in being able to manage your cravings as well. And the other real key ingredient to this is making sure that you have a lot of muscle mass. So muscle mass really drives your metabolism. So really prioritizing your healthy eating and movement and exercise.
Yes, that's one of the things I did in my 40s. I really got into resistance training, a lot of strength work and reducing my body fat, so that when I actually hit the menopause, I thought I'd be in a better state.
Well, your bones and everything you would really benefit from that. As not only that, but also your brain. The research is really clear around strength training and the protective properties it has for your brain.
Now, there's a few risk factors that happen, isn't it, when women start putting on weight around the middle. Can you talk us through that?
So staying cardiovascular fit is really important for heart health, and heart health is going to be more compromised in the menopausal time. So for example, during up to menopause with lots of estrogen, it helps protect your heart. And so you'll find that men are more risk at heart attack or heart disease. However, when women go through menopause and lose that estrogen factor, then they are just also as high a risk of heart disease and heart attack as men.
So what can we do to minimise our middle-age spread, to minimise putting on this unnecessary weight?
I think number one has to be managing your sleep, making sure that you get good quality sleep. Or it could be looking at if hot flushes are an issue, going to see a menopause doctor, and maybe HRT or menopause hormone therapy can help with that as well. Secondly, from that is making sure that you have lots of muscle mass.
And what about our eating habit?
It is really important that we have a diet that is filled with food that you can recognise. You know where it's come from. The research is really, really clear about having food that is plant-based, and even if it's something like a muffin, when you've made it yourself, it's not going to have those chemicals in it. It's going to be filled with things that you know and recognise. But definitely having some really good strategies to use to minimise that weight gain. Also, chewing your food. We have a little safe word in our house, which is applesauce. So making sure that when you chew your food, it feels like applesauce in your mouth before you swallow. And that might take a little bit of getting used to. Just by chewing your food, you do amazing things not only for your digestion, but also it gives your belly time to tell your brain that you are full. The third part to minimise putting on weight is movement after eating. Going for a walk. The research shows 10 or 20 minutes after a meal can help with all of that digestion.
So what you're saying is all the healthy things you should have been doing before menopause, you keep doing it, but maybe add a bit more resistance work to keep that muscle mass.
Yeah, and maybe thinking a little bit more about your diet and making sure that you're eating food that serve you.
All right, we've been through menopause, we've got a little bit of a middle-age spread, a little bit of a tummy. How do we look at ourselves in the mirror? And
that is such a good question, Carol, because it is something that is individual for us. And we're not saying, letting yourself go, but maybe it's about stepping into the next third of our life and owning who we are. I like to fill my news feed, so what I consume on social media, with older women. We have a youth-obsessed culture, and so I really embrace looking at kick-ass women who are older, and I think, I want to be you when I grow up. And with every kick-ass woman, they are not worrying about whether their thighs are rubbing together or not.
Now, what about partners and other family members? How can they support a woman going through menopause who is having that change in body shape?
First of all, empathy is always going to be number one.
I think a lot of women, they have to go up a size in clothing or 1 or 2 sizes in a bra size. So they probably feel they're maybe getting a little less sexy and all that sort of thing. How can someone, a family member, support them into thinking you're still attractive, you're still gorgeous, you're still amazing?
I love the terms, you do you. I think it's only natural that you would, as a woman, maybe complain to your significant other more than anybody else about how do I look. And I think a response that is really good is you do you. You be you, and that changes. And then going to a specialist shop and having a proper bra fitting. If you're just not getting the right support for the girls, that's not going to make you feel great as well. So a great bra does wonders, and also a bit of a wardrobe makeover.
So what final words of encouragement and support have you got for women watching today about embracing their new body shape?
When I was 26, I remember thinking, if only my body was like it was when it was 16. Didn't even need to wear a bra. And then when I was 36, I thought, oh, if only my body looked like it did when I was 26. There comes a point in time where you have to put a line in the sand and say, do you know what? My body is fantastic because it's transporting me, it's serving me, embracing what we have. That's my advice.
Hi everyone and welcome. It's 5 Minute Fitness with Carol and fabulous Faye. We've got a bit of Latin reggae going on here. I'm going to start with like a worm motion with your arms. So you do a wriggle. We're going to call this the worm. What do we call it, Faye? The worm. Do the worm. Sway side to side. Beautiful sunny day in Melbourne. Yeah. And of course it's the first day of winter tomorrow. Faye just reminded me, as if we couldn't tell it was winter. Okay, hold it there, feet together, and bounce, bounce, bounce. Swing the arms. Oh, that's it, get into it. While you're doing this, just check the floor space around you. Remember, no cords, no mats, no dogs, no cats. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Now take our feet further apart, just wherever you're comfortable. I'll be doing it small today. So we go down, up, down, up, down. So if you're flexible, you're fitter, you can go deeper. And we do a slow arm swing, like that. That's it. That's it, Faye. And if you can have a laugh, if you can get a friend over and do it with you every week, that'd be great. Everything's twice as much fun with a friend. Okay, 2 more. That's 1. And last one. And step touch, we're gonna go. Ready? Let's do it. Step, touch, step, touch, step, touch, step, touch, step, touch, step, touch. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the finger to the elbow. Got it? Finger to that elbow. Good for your brain. If you start getting all tied up in knots, just go back to the feet and then add the arms again. Now we're going to move it forwards. Forward, forward. Take it back. Forward again. That's it. This will brighten up your day. Take it back. Are you ready for the worm? There's the worm. Yes, get wriggling. All right, you know what comes next? Little bounces. Little bounces, feet together. Swing. That's it. Getting that circulation going. Why don't I go out in the park like this and have a go? All right, next we're doing a squat. Down, up, down, up, down, up. You know it. Try and keep the knees out. And you want to keep the knees going out over the toes. It was cold, but now we're hot. 4, 3, 2. Step, touch. Step, touch. That's it. Finger to the elbow. We're awesome. You're awesome. We're awesome. 5 minutes a day. Life Activities Clubs Victoria have clubs everywhere around Victoria. There are so many different activities. We've looked at a few of them already, some of the more active ones like table tennis and snooker and bocce, but there's also other ones like different card games, Scrabble, and we're looking at some of those today. Now Betty, you're the convener for the Scrabble here. How long have you been doing that for?
Oh, since I've been here, I think since the club started, at least 10 years. I think I've been in Geelong anyway.
So did you start playing Scrabble when you were younger?
No, not till I was going to school.
Or that you were younger when you were going to school?
Yes. I was a little younger, yes. I used to play with my girls too. My eldest daughter, who's now, she turns 55 next month. So she used to play with that and she always used to beat me.
So you grew up as a kid playing Scrabble and then you taught your kids to play Scrabble and now you're teaching other people over 55 to play Scrabble?
Trying to. Yes.
So what do you enjoy about it?
It's a case of mixing with different people, finding out new words. It has all sorts of things. You can make a short game or you can make it a long game. You can play for hours.
And I notice you've got a few sort of thesauruses and the expert to check things. And
you can't make up your own words, but if it's in the book, you don't have to know what it means. You just have to find it in the book. And this is one of our books.
What would you say to a new person who's never played Scrabble about why they should come and try it?
Well, why not? What else can you do? You won't know what it's like until you give it a go.
So Scrabble's obviously really good for your brain, isn't it? Keeping your brain fit.
Oh, that's the idea. That's what I say. That's what it does. I'm not sure but that's what I say.
Someone watching today who may be a bit shy about coming along and thinking, I like words and I like dictionaries.
Well, even if you don't like words, come along and check it out. And if you don't like that, we have all sorts of other games, physical games, mental games, card games, you name it. And if you've got a game you want to play, you can come along and invent that as well.
Yes, I heard about that. The bocce's been invented.
Yeah, incredible, yes.
All right, thanks a lot, Betty.
Thanks, Carol.
Hi, Wendy. Good. Nice to meet you and see you playing Scrabble. How long have you been playing Scrabble for?
Probably over a year.
And what drew you or attracted you to Scrabble?
I sort of found out from my aunt because I never had any activities and my aunt recommended life activities, so I decided to come along and I just love playing Scrabble, the company as well.
So the people are fun and...
Yeah, it is, and then I love going to the activities and they've got the morning tea coming up.
So they raise money for charity for some of the
I
lunches
do.
and dinners and that.
Yes.
So you do some of the dine-outs and...
Yeah, I like doing the dine-outs as well because getting out and sort of seeing people you don't see regularly, it's really nice.
So you didn't play Scrabble when you were younger?
Yeah, I did play Scrabble, but I only played it probably about once or twice, but since I came here I decided to give it a go.
So what would you say to someone sitting at home who's not getting out?
Please come out and meet some lovely people.
So Alan, I can see you're really, really passionate about 500 and you look after it all.
We all are.
Would you say you're addicted to 500?
Yeah, I've been playing it for about 60 years. So
Life Activities is 55 plus.
Yeah.
So anyone watching today who maybe has never played cards and they want to come along, what would you say?
well, just come along and we'll show you how.
Tell us about 500. What kind of a card game is it? Because I don't know anything.
It's similar, like if you play euchre, The cards are a similar value, but you have more cards in 500.
So what games do you play?
Well, I only play 500 now, but I have played euchre over the years.
There's lots of activities at the club because you do quite a few. What are some of the other activities that you do?
Well, bocce, of course.
Someone's thinking of trying one of the over 20 activities that Life Activities Club offers. What would you say?
They've got a good choice. Golf and cycling and, you name it, and you can get involved with it through the club.
And you'll keep playing it as long as you can?
Yes. This is my wife's day off. She stays at home while I come to cards.
Now, Rena, you do a lot with the cards here with Life Activities, don't you?
Right, yes.
So can you tell us about some of the different card games you play?
Well, we play hand and foot.
Hand and foot sounded interesting because it seemed to involve hand, foot and some other part of your anatomy.
No, just hand and foot. It's an offshoot from canasta. So, but there's a few other levels between. You've got canasta and then you've got a couple of things in between and then hand and foot. And it's more interesting than, what we're playing now is just like playing snap.
So what you're playing now is called frustration, is that correct?
That's right, yes.
And why is it so frustrating?
Because you can get stuck. Now, Lorraine's up to number 4 on there and I'm only up to number 3 because I got stuck on number 1.
Oh, so you've
and
got
so you've got the paper tells you which one you've got to do and it gets very frustrating.
So when you find the next thing, you put it down. Is that what happens?
When you get a run of 4, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the run. There's my run of 4, but then I've got to also have 3 of a kind.
So it could take you a long time.
Yeah, that's why it's frustrating.
With regards to people that might be interested in playing cards, do you need to have any experience? I mean, I don't know frustration, I don't know hand and foot, I don't know 500, nothing about it. What would you say to someone who's never played cards?
Come down and we will show you. They can watch you play it and whether they're interested or not, and then somebody can teach them.
So you can start with a more simple game like this and then you can progress?
Even if you just came in to play hand and foot.
Yes.
You can sit there for a minute and watch, and then we'll bring you into the game, and it's easy to learn.
And do you do any other activities with the club?
I'm convener for Friday walkers, which they don't really walk that far. They walk across the road to the cafe, which is fun.
And why do you think it's important for people to expose themselves to things like this?
Well, I think a lot of people get depressed, and at least they might find something in here that is an interest to them. And they might be really good as being a president.
Or a convener in another
yes,
activity.
That's right.
That's right.
Yes.
If anyone has never been to a club before and they're a bit nervous about coming on their own, what would you say?
Just come on down.
So how long do you think you'll keep playing Scrabble for?
Oh, all the time, because I just really enjoy coming here, getting out, seeing people.
Keep going with your frustrating game.
Thank you.
If you have limited mobility or don't feel like doing fitness classes or cycling, why not have some fun and make some new friends playing cards or Scrabble or just going out for lunch? Check out a Life Activities Club or U3A near you. Movement is so important for our health and well-being. Please keep it up. Connect with us on Facebook, YouTube and Insta. And please send us your comments and ideas. If you're after other information on Mish Wright or any guests, visit our website or check out their details underneath the YouTube video replay. Now get on your feet and go for a walk. If it's cold and raining, just put on a puffer jacket and a raincoat. No excuses. I'm Carol O'Halloran. Over 50, so what? Thanks for watching our TV show. Be sure to hit subscribe and then you'll never miss an episode. Jump on Facebook, join our group, get in on the fun, fitness, wellness and inspiration. I'm Carol, over 50, so what?